Donald Trump is being reinstated on Twitter. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Donald Trump is being reinstated on Twitter, people.
Ah, yes, the big news of the weekend. Whining Elon, which is how you would say his name in Afrikaans, I would imagine, Lord of Twitter, has reinstated the Orange Man Mad, the Golden Fuchsia, the Mango Mussolini, and so cue the collective outrage of a horde of whining wankers. There's a few things I want to say with regards to this, so if you don't know the scoop by now, Elon Musk had a poll on Twitter to reinstate the Donny T. And in case it isn't obvious by now, the poll etched out a win in favor of Donald Trump. So the president's account was reinstated. Interesting the way he used democracy. Kind of cringe, but it does work for the whole power to the people persona wave he's riding at the moment. I do wonder with regards to the botting problem, if he could use a poll like this, which is obviously going to bring a lot of attention, it is Trump after all, and have several millions voted on it as a way to gather some information and coordinate a response to the botting. Don't know, just speculating. But I do think one can use this whole saga with Elon to judge who you watch has any sense of down-to-earth realism and at least somewhat of a moral grounding. Those who have used, and will continue to use by the way, this whole event as a well of content who on the one hand lost their freaking marbles at Elon merely talking to leftist groups, and were ready to denounce him as their savior and kicking him off the very pedestal they propped him up on and throw out the baby with the bathwater in a fit of premature infantile-like entitlement rage, versus the adults who thought this was entirely unrealistic and far, far too soon to judge. I can safely say myself and people like Jeremy from the Quartering are in the latter group because for some bizarre reason or another, we were smart enough to see that Elon's capacity to turn a cesspool of a shit show into a spit-shine golden arsehole in the space of 5 freaking days after he waltzed into Twitter HQ with a sink in hand was entirely unrealistic and unreasonable. And do you think any of the former will apologize for their juvenile antics as they continue to dispense a flurry of black and white pills intermittently and pinball their audience into an endless grey haze through sensationalist bullshitting? I think not. And if you're thinking, wow, that was quite blunt and erudite, Spoon's in good form today. Yes, it is one of the advantages of having a smaller channel. I can pull a Bernie Mac. Thank you, Bernie. But if you consume a large range of content creators, you will know the ones I'm talking about. Oh, Elon has turned his back on free speech. Nah. 24 hours later. Woo! Trump is being reinstated. Elon's dick is back on the menu, boys. You shameless, grifting bunch of bastards. But anyway, for those of you who wouldn't touch Twitter with a 10-foot pole, who rightly think, why on earth do people care so much about this bollocks, and who think these sad bastards need to eat their phones and touch grass, allow me to take a crack at explaining this madness. Think of Twitter as a country, and one who was not sovereign. It was a vassal state controlled by an outside force, a puppet regime propped up by a flood of funny money from the outside. It's why Twitter was never a profitable business to begin with. It was an ideological tool that got increasingly censorious as the funny money was propping up its censorious bureaucracy. It had its own Stasi. And the left-wing gimps who lived there were happy to comply with this authoritarian regime because it fitted their particular worldview. So when Elon bought the place, he essentially became king of Twitter. Unfortunately, he still governs using democracy, which is cringe and gay. He must learn to rule like a monarch and not consult the peasantry. And the way people speak about him, what his duties are and principles he must abide by, people absolutely look at him like he's the sovereign head of state. But it's early days still, and we must be patient with our new monarch as he learns his new powers and tries to turn the real estate that is the Twitter landscape into a profitable state. What is so funny about this is at the time of making this video, Trump's already reaccumulated his following, which is more than twice that of Biden's in, I think, less than 10 hours since the account's been reinstated. And he hasn't even said anything. The account is just there. And you just know there are people staring at their phones like drug addicts, waiting for Trump to even just say hi, because it'll probably make their damn year. Here is the situation with Twitter right now. On the one hand, you have the Trumpers who are laughing their asses off as the left get blasted with retweets of Trump that are almost as old as 10 years. And on the other hand, you have these screeching thin-skinned autists who, on the surface, are claiming to be going apeshit. These drama queen seething coping fagios who are going, oh my God, I'm so going to leave Twitter right now. I'm going right now. Do you see the door? That's where I'm going through. Yes, I am. As of this moment, this is my last tweet. Because that door, you see the door? I'm going there right through it right now. And I won't be coming back. I definitely won't. Are you paying attention to me? Those twats. They exist in droves, by the way. And they aren't going anywhere. This is all a show. This is why I said on the surface claiming. Because they are secretly delighted. Leftism is the ideology of the bitching bitch. That's all these people do. They live to be whining wankers. With that being said, what do you call a leftist that doesn't complain? Deceased. This is why they won't leave. Well, at least not in the short term anyway. In the long run they might if they get too demoralized, who knows? But Trump's mere existence on the platform, even if he says or does nothing, symbolically, it is a symbol their regime is dead and buried. And that is enough to keep us up to our giddy necks in salt for some time to come. And that is all for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.